I just want to say quickly, I'm in my son's hospital room at Carl. and
Oh,
After many, many trials, we're taking him home by ambulance at 6:30, so I may be very in and out of this, depending on what's going on in the room. But
okay.
I'm sort of here for a little while.
Yeah,
You know
thank you.
The good news too is that it's recorded. You can always catch up later.
Mhm.
Yes, when we get home. Yeah.
I think you have a quorum of board members now.
Yeah, I
And
think we do.
here comes another board member and the first presenter.
Okay, even better.
So I would say you can call the meeting to order.
No, it's 5:45. Okay.
You've got a quorum.
Okay, let's call to order. Stephanie, roll call, please.
Matt Hausman,
Here.
Daphne Maurer, Elaine Palencia,
Here.
Kyle Patterson, Jane Sprandel.
Here.
John Paul Joachim, Joe Omo Sagie.
Here. Did you get Daphne as being here?
No,
She's here, but at least I see her on the screen.
okay.
Okay. So approval of agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
I'll second.
Thank you. So roll call.
Daphne Maurer,
She was here.
You know
Yeah.
what? We lost her and
Oh.
she's trying to
Disconnected
come.
again.
She's trying to come back in.
Yeah,
Sorry.
okay. Okay, continue, please.
Daphne Maurer,
Here, finally. Here, finally. Sorry.
Elaine Palencia,
Here.
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, just a little.
Jane Sprandel,
Here.
Matt Hausman.
Are we doing roll call or the vote?
This is to approve the agenda.
Approve
Okay,
agenda.
then yes.
Joe Omo Sagie.
Yes. Okay. Wow. Citizen input or participation, public participation. Anybody? You have anybody there? Lynn? Okay. If nobody's there, let's just go ahead. President's comments. It's Suicide Prevention Month, and it's a tough month. I lost my brother to suicide this month. Probably 11 days from now, to be 12 years, I lost my brother. I think we all ought to listen to the warning signs, and if you have mental health first aid training, use it. And if you've not had mental health first aid training, get it. It's beneficial. It's beneficial, at least, to have that conversation. That's it. So we have a study session today, and for the media presentation for funded programs. Who do we have that's ready to go? Oh, Terrapin.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's kind of small.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So the first speaker is Nelson Novak from Terrapin Station Sober Living, and he's here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I might stop sharing my screen so that Nelson, do you want to share your presentation?
Yeah, give me one moment.
Okay. It might look better because he's going to have the direct presentation.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, of course. I just clicked share screen. Can you guys all see my screen?
Yes, it looks like, yeah.
All right. How much time do I have? 10 minutes?
No, go for it. Don't worry about time.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll do.
You can use
so
2 hours, but don't worry about time for that.
All right. So my name, please let me know if I'm speaking too fast. I tend to do that. My name is Nelson Novak. I'm the founder and executive director for Terrapin Station Sober Living. I have not done a presentation in a long time. The pacing might be a nightmare here. We are funded by CCMHB, our online store, and rent from members of the house. Our funding from CCMHB has allowed us to cut monthly costs of rent for members of the house, as well as affording us the opportunity to take in people who we otherwise would not be able to. This grant has also allowed me to have a salary for the first time and has been a great help with our utility bills, transportation, home appliances, and utilities in general. About the organization, we are a 3-quarter style sober living home, which, as the name would suggest, we offer more freedom than a traditional halfway house would and a little bit less structure. We were started in May of 2019. The story behind that is I lost my leg from a heroin overdose in 2018. I basically fell asleep on my leg for 4 hours, lost oxygen. It's called compartment syndrome. They chopped it off a week later. A year after that, I was buying a house, and it made the most sense to start a sober living home as I'm in recovery. It's not 12-step based or faith-based. We're also not agnostic or atheist. We just want you to have your own beliefs. No defined length of stay. Progress is all that matters. We originally thought that the program would be 3 months and people would figure things out and move on from that. The reality is that's not how life works. We found that 3 months is a good place to stop and check if somebody's progressing, if they're complacent, if they need to be doing something to better themselves. But ultimately, as long as they're staying sober, going to work, and not making a mess or being totally insane, in legal terms, not anyways, acting ridiculous by standards of our house. That's all that matters, as long as they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. All forms of MAT, which is medicated assisted treatment, is permitted. So that includes methadone, Suboxone, buprenorphine, the various types of injections they currently have, as well as cannabis for people with opioid use disorders. We cater to the socially anxious, and our primary way of doing that is minimizing the amount of people and maximizing the amount of space for each individual, as well as limiting the amount of forced interaction. So we don't typically have meetings where everybody will get together and need to figure out solutions to minor problems in the house. Usually that's done on a one-on-one level. Where are we? Oh, demographic. Men between the ages of 28 and 55 has become our primary demographic. And on top of that, usually people who are facing long prison sentences for drug-related crimes. It wasn't always that way. We used to accept women, and we used to have people up to the age of 75. We quickly realized that that just wasn't going to work. Moving forward, I would like you to keep this experiment in mind. It was done by an Israeli scientist. They took a bunch of rats and secluded them, gave them cocaine and water all alone, and unanimously they would do cocaine until they died. They then took those same mice that were isolated and put them into a park with a bunch of other rats and gave them toys and different things to do, and still gave them the option of cocaine and water. Unanimously, they decided to pretty much all stop doing the cocaine completely. Some of them would use it sometimes, but they were not dying. And with that, we are different and recognize that our program is different and is not made for everybody. Also, I did not start this program with the idea of that experiment in mind. It just came up while I was making this. So how we are like the rats in that experiment, and how we differ from a traditional halfway house. So what I've come to find is that the environment alone is the most important part of our program. I found anytime I try to insert my own beliefs onto people, it just causes chaos, and it's not a sensible thing. We search for good-natured, non-violent criminals who are otherwise normal individuals outside of their drug use, as they benefit the most from this program. That seems like it would be the easiest demographic to tackle, but oddly enough, that is the 35% of people who are least likely to benefit from traditional halfway houses. Being able to talk and see family members is very important to members of the house, so we don't encourage that people get into new relationships. However, if they have a partner or a spouse, that they are permitted to see them. Having the ability to use technology such as phones, computers, TVs, as well as the ability to work strengthens their resolve instead of taking away from it, which is in contrast to a traditional halfway house. The optimal number of people in the house is 3 and myself, and that is simply because that's the amount of rooms we have. We had for a while doubling up rooms, but that would pretty much just cause issues because then the house is not equal. Given one room is larger, nonetheless, it's not quite fair for one person to have to share a room. So we give the bigger room to the person who's been here the longest. Structure is only as important as it is to the individual's needs and how their structure affects the needs of others around them in our house. So if somebody is messy and they want to keep their room messy, that's perfectly fine as long as they're not bringing in mice and other rodents or attracting mold or other problems that would affect the rest of the house. If they're messy and then they make messes in other parts of the house, that's when they're going to be held accountable. It basically comes down to what you need for your recovery and yourself is going to be different than what other people need. Added structure for our house takes away from the environment instead of adding to it. As I said in the beginning, if I try to kind of input my belief system in it or various things that aren't tried and true, it just causes chaos. And for that, we do refer to the 12 steps. And we do encourage people to, if they have not tried to go to 12-step meetings, they have to pretty much have gone and rejected that. That is kind of an important thing. And they can obviously go, we encourage it. So we would like people to go to meetings, but we're not, we don't push that in particular or force people to go. So our programs, the GED program is exactly what it sounds like. It's basically just tutoring somebody so they can get their GED. The financial independence program casts a wide net of various things related to investing, gaining wealth, savings, etc. And all these programs, we can use them as much as the people permit us to have them be used. They have to want to do them. We're not going to force them on them. So neuroregenerative supplements and vitamins program. So the vitamins became important with COVID-19, vitamin C and D. Again, we don't force anybody to take anything. And neuroregenerative supplements, the primary one that's worth talking about is NAD, which is a coenzyme to vitamin B3. It's in every cell of your body. If we didn't have it in our body within 30 minutes, we would all be dead. The primary thing you'd want to know is that we were born with a certain amount of it, and it only depletes as we get older. It fixes neural pathways. It's cellular regenerative. It does a lot of things that I don't have the scientific mind to explain, but I would highly suggest looking into it because not only does it help addicts, it helps anybody. It's been touted as the fountain of youth. The program assistance program is a program that assists people with finding other programs. The harm reduction program for active users is something that I thought we would end up be doing a lot more of, but it seems like the health department, as far as Champaign-Urbana is concerned, we don't have that many people in need of syringes, but we do find in rural parts of America that we are sending them out. The music program is for people who like playing music or want to learn how to play music, again, only utilized as much as anyone will allow us to. So the intake process is quite extensive. It starts with leaving a voicemail because we need to know you're serious about the program. Initial interview, subsequent interview, and contract interview, which is done at the house. We search for nonviolent, non-sex offenders who show good character, as well as people facing long sentences for unjust charges that adequately meet other criteria. They must have an understanding of their addiction and or mental illness, and the easiest way to gauge that is kind of here to just take the first step of AA and then translate it for mental illness, addiction, mental illness. First step for both is kind of how I judge that. Must have 30 days clean or have undergone ibogaine treatment. If you're not familiar with ibogaine, it's a visionary root bark that comes from the iboga plant. It's currently a Schedule I substance in the United States. The CDC recognizes that it has a 30% effectiveness rate. However, most statistics say that it has an 80% effectiveness rate. It does that by producing neuroibogaine in the brain, which stays there for about 4 months and allows you to rework all of your thoughts and previous habits. It's amazing. Compound, I don't know why it's still illegal. Roughly 50 to 100 questions are asked and answered sincerely before a rental agreement is signed. And so for the first interview, it's a lot of kind of fleshing out if the person would work for the program, and then the following are just going really detailed through their life. Drug tests must be passed before signing of the rental agreement, which is basically the contract interview. You talk, go over the agreement, they're comfortable with it, they take the drug test or sign it. Roughly 1 in 10 people make it through this process. And again, we weren't always this way. We used to have a much more for lack of a better word, Christian understanding of things, that anybody who needs help, you should try to help them, but this program is not for everybody. And we found that people, when we were taking everybody, they'd maybe kind of flounder around for 3 months and then just relapse. So we stopped doing that. What we look for in applicants is honesty, demonstration of good character, transparency, people who do not subscribe to stigmatic binaries regarding MAT or psychiatric medicine sobriety. I mean, for good reason, it is stigmatized because there are plenty of bad doctors and people who don't know what they're doing in terms of the people taking the medications themselves. But people need to basically accept that there are different routes to the same end means. And if you're taking a medication as prescribed and you have a tolerance to it, that it's not the same as being high on a street drug that can kill you. People who are open to getting help for their mental illness, extremely important. Again, the person has to have some understanding that they have a mental illness, or some understanding of their quirks if they don't. Persons facing prison sentences, usually the longer the prison sentence is for a non-violent offender, will kind of put them higher on the priority list than other people on the list, simply because that's where we can make the greatest impact to people and their families. Men who show they are serious about recovery and are comfortable with the dynamics of the house. So the dynamics of the house, this is a big part of it. Once they get to the end of the second interview, this disclaimer is given to all applicants. It's usually a lot longer. This is not a traditional halfway house. This is a 3/4 style living home that grants you a far greater amount of freedom with significant less forced in-house fellowship. We are located in a rural part of Urbana. So the house dynamics, as I said previously, I am equal to other members of the house in almost every respect, outside of, obviously, I'm the one who has the authority to tell people if they can be here or not. We are nearly indistinguishable from other communal households within the United States. If I may say so myself, of some of the ones I have known of, in just typical households, we are a lot nicer to each other. And I think that would probably have to do with the structure. We do not have accountability meetings over minor things. If somebody forgets to take the trash out, or might drop something on the ground, forgets to pick it up, forgets to throw old food out, something like that, it's a demonstration of good character. We believe that another person, they see that, they just pick it up. Don't make a big deal about it. Obviously, if that's something that continues to happen with the same person, that's something that will lead to us having a one-on-one interaction. The logic behind one-on-one interactions is we are a small house. It's really doesn't make much sense to bring everybody together anytime we have a small thing. Because we're so small, it's pretty easy for us to communicate. And then if I need to meet with people one-on-one to get the truth of the matter, that's a lot better than having people for lack of a better word, snitch on another person in front of them. It's a lot easier and more conducive to the end goal. We are all independent from one another's program, but interact enough to get the information we need from one another's path and recovery. Like I said, one another's program, because this is more of like a fertile foundation or a matrix for people to get introspective and figure out where they went wrong in their life, figure out what they need to do good in their life. And that is what will form their path to recovery ultimately. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to tell you what you need to do or how you need to do it. I'm just going to give you the environment in which I know I would thrive in, is really what it comes down to. So our store, we sell gemstones online. It's an offshoot of other stores that I started a long time ago that were shut down for various reasons on the internet. So the original gems were all donated by myself. Since that, we have been working with one Vietnamese miner. What else do we have there? We primarily would have the most success at music venues, however, currently sell on Etsy, eBay, as well as Amazon. Member participation is whenever it's necessary or sensible, is used as much as possible. So if somebody's good at photography, if somebody has an interest in going and making listings or going and selling gemstones or jewelry or making jewelry, then we definitely encourage that. However, we're not going to force people to do anything they don't want to do, as long as it's not going to affect their sobriety. We are creating a second store with a bunch of other old inventory I have. I've just been lacking on that. And the future of the music program. So that is something I've been getting into, which I'm currently building, which is essentially a business that buys and sells instruments. And when I say I'm building it, I'm currently funding it. I'm trying to get it big enough, like the previous Etsy stores, where then I can give it to the organization. It makes sense because then the organization is not spending the money themselves, and then they can get the money back. So currently building synthesizers and selling them is something that's in the work, as well as I'd like to teach children how to play guitar who otherwise could not teach. That's pretty much the realm of teaching that I can get into, or how to produce music, something like that, as well as trying to sell commercial music just as another way to make money for the organization. So our triumphs, we have a 0% homeless rate upon departure. Anytime somebody has been kicked out, sometimes it takes 2 weeks. We'll wait and find a place. Again, as long as they're not using, we work with them to find a place. And that's usually not me. That's usually other members of the house who are able to do that, more so than myself. But the courts have recognized us as a valid location for offenders to receive time served for their stay here. So we have confirmation from the courts from one man who has a paid attorney, and we have another gentleman who has been with us since January 1st of 2020. After getting kicked out of another halfway house, he's facing up to 15 years in prison and has done nothing but improve himself since he arrived. He has not been sentenced due to his continued progress, and we do not have a confirmation from that because he has a public defender. However, he would have been charged by now because other people he knew of who had very similar charges were charged over a year ago, or sentenced over a year ago. 2 other members of the House who are also both awaiting trial have been doing well, both of whom came this quarter, which I'm very happy with. We have maintained a relatively drama-free. We've had a few nights. Drama and drug-free recovery home for nearly 3 years. I say drug-free. We had 1 incident with alcohol, and that is it. Oh, any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Can you hear
Oh.
me?
Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead.
Often when we hear programs like this, there's a kind of almost a bibliography of programs that have been implemented through the local program and or logic models or whatever. And I would like to know, did you create this structure yourself, or does
The
it come
best way I
from-
can put it is it's loosely based off an Oxford house, but then looking further into Oxford houses, the primary where we differ from there is, like I said, having house meetings over minor things. We do that differently as I meet with the people one-on-one. A lot of the stuff, and also some of the things, like they would fine people for not taking the lint out of the washer, $50. I'm not going to fine people money for making a mistake. So yeah, it's primarily based off an Oxford house. Like I said, democratically ran. It's based off of that, which is a proven method. It was the closest thing to something that I would go to personally. So yes, it's based off Oxford house model.
Oh, thank you.
So question about some of the programs. I forget what slide it is. It's page 7 in my packet, but where you listed all the different programs. So how are those offered? Yeah, there.
In many ways, it's on an as-needed basis. So if a person needs to get a GED or a GED would benefit their life, then that's when I'm going to try to tell them to get their GED.
Yeah, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
The how though. So are you running
Oh.
these programs, or do you have people coming in? Are you partnering with other agencies to do these programs?
I wouldn't call it a partnership, like I said, with the program assistance program. The GED would be myself. Financial independence would be myself. Yeah, a lot of these are currently myself. We had a licensed therapist, but she passed away. So currently they're pretty much myself. Yes.
Okay. And along those lines, I'm kind of curious about the harm reduction program, just because, again, I don't have a whole lot of experience in this realm, but that seems counter.
Exactly. No, that's a very good point. So it was always in the van, so separate from the house itself. And again, that's kind of part of why we tailored it off. So we'd go and meet with members of the community and give them what they would need in terms of syringes. But then everything else is locked away in that car. People can't have access to it. They don't see it. So it's not really an issue. But if you mean in the sense that harm reduction itself may seem antithetical to the whole.
No, it was more, no, I understand, because I understand it, but usually you have them as separate entities, and that's what it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that's true. I do. The people who live here are not aware of it. If that's kind of the best way I can put it.
Okay.
I
I
just,
wanted to say something. Oh, I'm sorry, John, go ahead.
the only question I had was, how are you following up with people after they left the house to know that they have like a 0% homeless rate? Are you calling them? Are you having them fill out surveys, or how are you reaching out to them?
That is a very good question. Honestly, I did not think about that. The primary thing is if we get a person into another halfway house, I'll usually end up talking to him. We did have one person, we got him into a different house, and he did end up passing away. It was a relatively new sober living home, and he was kicked out for a relapse. But I would say I do follow. Yeah, I mean, I do follow up with them. I text them all. It's not really an official thing, but I talk to them.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
You go ahead, Jody.
I had a comment about the non-12 step and the non-religious affiliation. I've worked for DCFS for a while, and part of that role, of course, was bringing people to services. And I think one of the most difficult things was trying to find a program that did not have that religious affiliation, because there were some people that were just turned off by that. And I also have an adult son who has struggled with addiction as well. And that was one of the main reasons why he didn't want to get treatment at certain facilities. How did you come to that?
Well, for lack of a better word, I wouldn't say I would say I'm pretty extremely religious, or that my beliefs in the spiritual realm are pretty far out there and I'm pretty firm on them. That said, I know what I believe in is very weird and it doesn't translate well to other people. Also, I grew up Christian, and it didn't ever sit well with me with somebody telling me what to do. And I think this whole program is for people who don't like being told what to do and want to figure out how to do this on their own, with some support, obviously.
Kind of another follow-up question, Nelson. Who else kind of works with you on this? As far as, I mean, is this mostly all run by yourself, or do you have?
We do have a board of directors, two of whom are in town. One is kind of oversees that everything is maintaining the standard of basically everything I just told you, that things are happening the way they're supposed to be. He used to live here. He graduated. His personal information does not matter. But yeah, I mean, I do have other people who I work with and I talk to, but I would be the primary person for the majority of these things. And that's also part of why the program is so small.
Okay, so you have the board that kind of oversees, but as far as when it comes
Yes.
to direct activities, it's almost all you.
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
So what is your self-care?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of really deep thinking, and I try to keep it positive. That would be the best thing. For me, isolation is extremely important. When I interact with other people, one minor thing can get in my head for weeks, and that's not healthy for somebody with addiction. 90% of everything could be positive, but if the 10% negative drives you insane, it's maybe better to just not have to deal with things that may cause that 10% negative, which for me is people.
Who do you check in with?
Oh, who do I check in with? That's a good question. My family is the primary source. I do have friends, but I don't really want to talk to them. So my family and the people in this house.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
So I had a couple questions. How do individuals find out about your program?
Usually we get referrals from different rehabs, primarily people who have had success with our program. Their counselors call us with other people, usually just rehabs. Oh, other halfway houses as well. Somebody's getting kicked out.
Is there sort of a waiting list then?
There is not. The way I've come to figure it, 'cause anytime we've had a waiting list, I end up calling these people back and none of them are interested. So the way I've done it is once we have an opening, that's when I start answering the phone, or I'll call people back if they leave a message and tell them we don't have any beds available, and they can call back every week. And that's the best way they can get on it. Either way, with a waiting list, they'd have to be calling every week. So that's what I tell them. If they call every week, they make it to the top of the list.
So I will admit, I talked to Lynn today and I told her I was a little nervous with the 1 in 10 successfully finished the program. And she
Oh,
said,
not
"Actually,
successfully finished, who are admitted. More than 50% succeed. Yes,
Okay.
10% are the ones who are permitted to come to the program. We turn away 90%.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
So when do
ask
you
you
take
a
a break?
Hey,
go
Joe,
ahead,
I
go
know
ahead.
board members might not be finished with their questions, but I would like to make a comment if it's all right.
Okay, go for it.
Just that is a much better success rate than I even thought. When Jane and I were talking, we talked about the realities of addiction treatment and treatment for alcoholism, and what, a high success rate doesn't sound very high compared to other. I mean, it's hard, and I'm a little tearful during your program because I recently lost a very good friend to opioid addiction, to an opioid overdose. And so, and I know he would have done well with your program. And so thank you, Nelson, for doing this work.
Of course, thank you for the question. I'm glad I could clarify that.
Okay. So back to the board members. Sorry.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to like knock the program, but I'm like, oh my gosh, Lynn, should I be concerned? And she's like, actually, that's great, Jane. And then we were able to talk about it a little bit and so with that. So kudos to you that 50% are actually making it through. So great.
Oh, thank you.
So my question was, how do you take a break?
How do I take a break? Well,
Yeah.
that's I don't have a traditional job. And a lot of the people, that's the thing when you limit the forced interactions, the forced house meetings, it's just like talking to people that you like. It's not really a difficult thing in terms of, like I said, these programs are only utilized as much as they can be utilized by the person. And if we only have 3 people, it's not excessive. I don't have children. Again, I don't talk to people. It's not, to me, it's not excessive.
Okay.
Could you elaborate?
Yeah, please.
No, could you, the question.
I mean, maybe because, yes, I've worked with this population and lots of different populations for almost 30 years. I just don't want you to burn out in serving other people. So that's what I'm asking about. How do you take care of yourself? Yes, meditation is good, yoga is good, isolation is good, but sometimes how do you just take care of little Nelson?
That's a very fair question. Sometimes I don't know, but I think I'm figuring that out more and more, but I would have to agree with you. The burnout thing is probably slowly becoming an issue. So that's something I do try to put things into perspective. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how to elaborate. These things are good. I don't know if anything's, creating synthesizers, getting lost in things that are very small to not focus on things that are large.
Okay. You're finding your Zen moments, huh?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll be checking in with you. So Jody, did you have another question? Yes, I know. Any other questions?
I did have a follow-up kind of off of what you were asking, Joe, and similar
Okay, go
kind of concern about burnout, because just my own organization that I've been running for a while, I was running it alone, and the burnout, and then I was always worried about what would happen if something happened where I was not able to do this for a while. So in your case, Nelson, if you are the only person, not even something, but just a little thing like a family emergency or something like that took you out for a couple of weeks or a month, what would happen in that case?
That is a very good question. I do have the one guy who used to live here and he lives in the area. He would likely take over in that type of situation. But if anything were to happen, more than a month, I really don't know who could or who would replace me. I don't think this is a job really anybody would want. So that's kind of where it gets hard with finding another person to take. I can't really think of, like, you're making very fair points, but I can't think of a part that I could really delegate to somebody else that it would really take much stress off of me. If I was in a position where that was the case, I would gladly pay somebody to take the stress off. But I just haven't come to find that as a possibility.
Okay.
Which I am open to possibilities. If people have ideas of how I can limit stress by hiring other people, I'm definitely open to that, but I just don't know how to do that.
Joe, I did have a question. I just couldn't push the button fast enough. I apologize.
Okay.
My question is this program a dual program, meaning people with mental health concerns or SMI along with addiction? And if that's the case, what is the plan for those folks who need that additional psychiatric care and medication, care, because obviously they sometimes need help with that sort of thing as well. Do you have a plan for that?
Yeah, I mean, we're all are dual diagnosis. I'm really weary of any addict that doesn't also have a mental health illness, especially when they have to see a psychiatrist at a rehab who is going to diagnose them with something, whether it's really fitting or not. And along with that, if somebody is just recently on the medication and it's not making their life any better and they live their life without it, without being violent or anything like that, I don't make them take the medication. The primary thing is that if they have a good psychiatrist, to keep seeing that psychiatrist. If they have a bad psychiatrist, to see a better psychiatrist. To just have ongoing things to make sure that your mind is intact and that you're taking your medications as prescribed when you're supposed to be taking them. And if somebody's truly mentally ill, it's quite easy to find out when they're not dead, depending. I'm speaking more in psychosis, but depression as well. I mean, it's not too hard for us to see when it's very similar to sobriety. If somebody is breaking their pattern and their schedule, that's when I know I need to step in and do something. So that's the primary thing regarding mental illness. Trying to think if there's anything else. I'm sure there is. If you have any more specific questions to that, I'm sure I could answer to it.
Not really. I just know there have been times where I have tried to help clients get enrolled in a program for addiction services, and we were turned away because they had a label of SMI, severe mental illness. Therefore, certain places aren't equipped to handle that. So that's
Let me clarify, because I'm mentally ill myself, there are certain mental illnesses I can't tolerate. So I can't deal with borderline personality disorder because by diagnosis, it goes against the honesty and transparency thing. I can't handle bipolar 1 patients because we'll both make each other crazy. Psychotic episodes, I have had a lot of really bad experiences with people breaking out in psychosis around me when I was younger. So I can't deal with any of those. But any other mental illness, I'm perfectly fine with. To be clear, that's bipolar 1. I cannot take. I can take people with hypomanic bipolar.
So pretty much you're aware of your limitations and take that into consideration. So that's why it's 1 in 10.
That would be correct. Exactly.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I just want to say I appreciate what you're doing, Nelson, as far as taking your own issue and trying to help those around you. So I think it's very amazing that you're doing something like that. So thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So one quick last comment. Why Terrapin House?
Terrapin Station. Yeah, it's originally the name of a Grateful Dead song. The 2 songs, Lady and a Fan and Terrapin Station, really, if you read the lyrics, they lend themselves to addiction quite well. But more so than that, Turtle House addicts are very slow. They kind of slow down their lives, and that's really why it's called that more than anything.
Okay. Yeah, because I said, okay, that's a tortoise, and they're kind of slow.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Keep up the good work and keep self-care in mind. Okay.
I will. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you.
How do I end the shared screen here?
Well, I can do it for you if you want.
Okay.
Is that?
Yeah, sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna try to figure it out. So, Joe, when you're ready for the next speaker, I need to ask her if she wants me to share the screen or if she will be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think we're ready for the next speaker. I mean, if the next speaker is ready.
She's here. Hi, Stephanie. Do you want to share the screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Let me get this ready to share. Let's see. Okay, are you able to see my presentation? Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you all so much. It's very good to meet with you all this evening. And I'm excited to share about the Well experience, which is my heart, my passion. I love what we do, and I'm always excited to share what we do with others and with you all. So the Well Experience, we are all about the healing, engaging, restoring, and empowering of families and individuals who are connected to this organization. So with that being said, I will go ahead. So the Well Experience, we were established in 2019. So we actually began the organization in 2018. We received our incorporation in 2019. Here at the Well, we provide services and support and resources for underprivileged, underserved, marginalized, and oppressed individuals and families. And this is with a focus on women, teens, and children. With the help of community organizations and volunteers, the Well Experience has been able to provide so many support services for families, including wraparound care for families in a crisis, economic resources and services, academic and social emotional support for children and adults, and of course, therapeutic and cultural relevant support for families. And we have adult and youth that are participants within this program that receive case management with supporting goal setting and meeting their goals. Let's see. So here at the Well, I always like to, I add this because and this is also on our webpage. We are all about providing culturally sensitive support. So I, as a social worker with a focus on mental health, I am very dedicated to supporting families and supporting their mental health care, especially when we look at families who are dealing with so much, and you all know, and you know the story, you know the numbers. And so my goal is to make sure that we have a system that works in a way that is really multi-tiered to deal with different things, from universal supports that are needed in a full group to individual supports to crisis management. And I really love the fact that we offer universal supports, which are open to anyone in our community, and they also serve as a support for the whole family. We're about the holistic support of the family, which is why we have a variety of different things that we provide. Our services, support, and resources provide a holistic system of care that considers every person's individual place in the world. With the help of, like I said, the community, we have been able to provide these things in-house, and that's wraparound care for families in a crisis, economic resources and services, which also includes financial assistance, which has been such a blessing in this community. Enrichment, we provide career development and financial literacy for adults and children and teens, and financial management, which happens through case management with adults. Social emotional learning for children and adults. Therapeutic supports, which include mentoring, counseling, and counseling for youth and families. And we provide psychotherapy and skills for psychological recovery for kids and adults. And we are trauma informed and person-centered. Our work is definitely healing engaged. We provide healing center engagement for families. And we are all about goal-oriented youth and family case management. So we collaborate with local organizations for families living in Champaign, Urbana, and Rantoul right now. And we have developed programs that produce successful early intervention outcomes for children, preventive programs for young children, teens, and their families. And we also have a very focused support for women, and often that is parents of children who need support. We provide parenting, which has been awesome in our Well-Educated Family Learning Group and our Moms Grow group, which is for pregnant and parenting teens. So, and just helping to families to develop the stability that they need and the resilience they need. So here are a few of our partners that we have been blessed to partner with and to connect with throughout our community. In one way or another, these organizations have become partners with us, and we are very thankful for the services and support we are providing with them, with us all together. And I actually noticed that I left off one that needs to go on here, and that's the United Way. The United Way is also a partner of ours that should be on this list, and I just noticed that they're not there. So I don't want to leave them out. So just to say, just want you to know, we're here as part of for this community. We're doing this work, and with the help of community, we're not in this alone. This is, we are all about connecting to the community and making our organization that people are aware of, that we receive several referrals from other community organizations, as well as we send referrals to them. And we have built an awesome collaboration with several organizations within our community. I want to say, I always like to say, we are also here for our staff. All of the staff at the Well Experience are trained in trauma-informed care to provide healing-centered engagement for the youth and families that we serve. The Well Experiences programs are designed to enhance the academic growth, social emotional needs, and mental health of people of color. In this area, of course, we have 97% of the families enrolled in our organization right now are Black, African-American, African-American, and so the other 3% that we have enrolled are of the Hispanic and Latina community. So we are committed to research and implementation to increase successful outcomes for these families, and to do everything we can to help dismantle racial disparities. We advocate, we go with families to meetings and act as advocates for them with when they are dealing with situations with DCFS. We have been working with families to help them, those that are trying to navigate supports through the JDC and through the school system and also the court system. And this has been something that has really been a huge support for families, and they are always thankful to have us at the table with them. Just to tell you a few of the programs here at the Well. We have Girls to Life, which is my baby. Girls to Life is our program that supports girls from any school age girl from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. With the Girls to Life program, we developed a program that helps girls to find their identity, to develop a sense of self, to become aware, develop the confidence they need. And within the program, they get so many skills from support with academics to college readiness to, and even our high school girls, for attending our programs and being part of the systems that we create for them, they actually earn a stipend for helping us develop program, for doing community service, for attending their social emotional groups. And so this program has been amazing. I will say we had, for our Girls to Life participants, just last school year alone, for the children we had enrolled, the teens that were attending Urbana and Centennial and Central High School, we had an 87% increase in grades and academic support and success. And that was big for us because some of those kids came to us failing, and failing the classes wasn't just based on the fact that they couldn't do the work. Some of them were dealing with so much trauma, okay? There were so many things going on in their homes and that they did not have the coping skills to deal with. So not only did we support them academically, we also supported them supported their mental health and supported them social emotionally, and gave them the tools they needed to be more successful. And we are very happy to see what has come of that. The Well Kids Learning Hub is our program that provides after school support for children, and every child enrolled in our program gets social emotional learning and therapeutic support within their groups. Every child and every group. And we have rotations where our social workers and our mentors are involved in the process with all of our kids. And it has been amazing. We also provide support for parents who have children from 0 to 5 who are not attending school, where they can receive that social emotional support, which will help them. We've had some kids that are dealing with some developmental needs. And so they're able to come here and spend some time, a couple hours with us in the daytime, where they are getting some of that academic stuff, getting some of that social emotional learning, and preparing them so they'll be ready for school. With that, we have a collaboration with Head Start and with the Urbana School District, where we are supporting them, and also with CU Early. And through with these supports, we are able to increase and enhance our services that we are providing for families, which of course moves me to the SET, which is Sisters Engaging Together. This is all about women coming together to for the support of their children and families, but also within this group, we provide support for parents who are just struggling. We teach them about self-care, teach them about how to care for themselves and how to care for their children. Moms Grow is our teen moms group, which we changed last year. You may have seen the name in the board, in our information. It said, oh gosh, I don't even remember the name we changed it from, but this is our new name, and I like it because it's more motivational. And it's so Moms Grow is growth and restoration opportunities for women. And this is, I'll tell you a couple of reasons why we did this. We did this for one, because we realized we just had teen moms, right? And we were working with moms from as young as they could become moms up until 18 and 19. Well, then we started getting referrals from Carl Healthy Beginnings, and the moms were like 20, 21. And I'm like, if you know me, I don't like turning anybody away. And I'm like, okay, I can't call it teen moms anymore, because now I'm reaching out to moms, and I'm not overstretching, but I did want to allow a few extra moms to be a part of our program. So I did open up that age a little bit so that we call it Moms Grow, and it allows us to reach moms from as early as you can get pregnant to 24. Okay, so, and then Here for the Girl is our, we started this program with a grant from United Way, which allowed us to provide racial healing circles. And this is something we are grateful to continue. We have seen a lot of breakthrough and healing for women and girls through the Here for the Girl program. And it has, mothers have shared with us how having this support helps them to speak and to communicate better with their sons and daughters about who they are, and which is going to help when they are preparing them to see themselves and to see themselves different than what society sometimes sees them. Well-educated family learning, Teen Talk family. I'm trying not to go over my time, so I'm just gonna say family game night. I wanna just run through them. Teen Talk, okay, family.
Don't hurry, just take your time.
Okay. Well-educated family learning happens on Tuesday nights. That's where we provide all of the education activities. And right now we're doing it bi-weekly on Tuesdays. Families are coming in and they are loving it. We're doing healthy relationships. We're dealing with domestic violence and having women's groups where they are able to really break through with a group of women who understand. We're talking just this past Tuesday, oh my God, gosh, we had a conversation about Black moms and their sons and how afraid they are about their sons in society, and about where I had an interesting conversation where a mom actually said she's so afraid of her son being killed, she'd rather him be locked up. Ain't that something? I'd rather my son be locked up than get a call that he passed away. So we're talking with moms and helping them to heal, and even helping them to develop the tools they need to help their children into the next generation, you know? So it's been a lot, and it's been amazing. Well, with that, we also do career development. We did in the program we did last semester, the women earned, we partnered with the Strive program at the YWCA, and the women in our program earned a Chromebook for coming in, and they learned how to work Google Chrome, and some of them had never used it. And it was really great for me to teach them that, because many mothers reported to us that when we went to e-learning, it was so hard for them because their children were using systems at home that they had never used before, and it made it a challenge. So we were so happy we're always happy to provide what parents and families need. Teen Talk happens bi-weekly on Thursdays. Teens from Champaign, Urbana, Rantoul, they are in the well, and we have a couple counselors, some mentors, and even some awesome people that I just invite to be a part of this experience. I don't want to call them security, but they are people that I love, and I appreciate being in the house, because, you know, sometimes when kids are going through something, you need to make sure you have the support you need in the house. But they have an awesome experience, and they get the life skills they need. Family Game Night, which happens once a month. This is all about social connectedness and family connectedness. I'm excited to say we were able to also offer this virtually, where families were able to come in and pick up the items that they needed, so that they could do Family Game Night, and we would conduct it on Zoom. And we're excited to get it back in the house too. Well Fitness happens on Saturday. Why? Because as well as we consider our mental health, we have to think about our physical health, right? And so it's a motivational moment that happens for women, and for them to get together and not only exercise, but also get some motivational support and health information about nutrition and things that I have collected from nutritionists that I've talked to. And it's been an amazing moment. I do notice what I don't have on here, something that we have at the Well, is the Parent Mentor Program. Through the Parent Engagement Institute of Chicago, we were able to bring the Parent Mentor Program. So now we also have parents who are getting support inside of our building, because they have to attend personal development weekly, and then they go into the schools and offer tutoring support to kids. And right now we have Urbana School District, and we have 3 schools that we're offering that in now, and it is an awesome program, and we're hoping to expand it to more schools next year. So here is our mission, and I will let you all see that if you would like to read it. We are all about community, all about family, all about healing-centered engagement, and all about being advocates for families so that we can help to change some of the systems. Providing holistic care and support is very important to us. This is our commitment to service. This is also something you can find on our website. We want to provide service, provide healing-centered engagement with respect, racial equity. We want to make sure families know we are here to protect you. The Well has become a safe place for many, and I'm like a mama hen. I won't let anybody destroy that for them. We are here to, of course, support, and then, of course, report, because we also want to keep everyone safe in any way. We put families first. We consider self-care. And I'm laughing when I say that, because I see a few people on here that are going to say, are you really taking care of yourself? And we provide quality service and advocacy for families. So, And I always add, what do we need? Of course, with more financial resources, we can hire more staff. I do believe my goal for the Well is for this to be a household name and this to be something that becomes great and is not an organization that ends up going down in the next few years. It has proven to be very helpful in this community, and I certainly want this to continue, and so that we can continue to serve the families the way we serve and do more, enhance our services. So thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
It's open.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions, Stephanie. So first of all, one from a kind of a personal interest or pets project of mine. So with your Girls to Life and your Well Kids Learning Lab, are you doing any kind of STEM programs? I used to be an engineer, and I really, the idea of representation in STEM, especially combination of females and minorities, I'd really like to see more with that. So do you guys do anything with that?
Matt, we absolutely do. And so the more I talk, the more I'm remembering partners that I forgot to add. I'm so sorry. I hope they're not listening. So we have a partnership with University of Illinois, and we have partnered with the women engineers, the women of STEM. They provide STEM for not only our girls, but so I should say the after school program from pre-K to 5th grade is boys and girls. And from 6th and up is all girls, okay? And so we have STEM programs for every grade. And so right now we're trying to establish more for the pre-K, because I'm seeing, everybody don't have the patience to do STEM for pre-K kids, but we have they come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they are doing STEM projects. I mean, they have done some amazing stuff, and I met with them and wanted to make sure that the STEM connected to our kids. So one thing they did that I have loved, the girls, the older girls made presentations for, we worked with a group of incarcerated women who recently that were incarcerated. So the older girls made paintings for them, and the STEM group helped them create their own lights to, and develop it and put the lights around there. And they were so excited about that. So just to take something that they've done themselves and add the STEM to it so they can see themselves in this. This isn't just, and they are definitely beginning to see that STEM can be something they love too. Another thing I require of those who bring STEM is that when they do their weekly PowerPoints, they have to present to the kids a person of color in STEM, because I want them to see that STEM is not just for white males and white females, and so it has been an awesome experience. And so, yes, they do it every week.
Well, so one follow-up on that, and Lynn, maybe you can put me in touch with Stephanie. Having worked in STEM, I have a few people who might, some examples that are higher ups, that are very high level female minorities that might be somebody that could talk. The other
one, all for it.
The other one I wanted to ask is something more, and you don't have to go into too much detail, but I love to see, and you kind of started to do it there with the success stories, and I love to see numbers and like how many families are you serving, and what kind of benefits you're seeing as far as, I don't know if you want to say like graduation rates or things like that. That kind of data I love to see.
Okay. Is it okay if I stop share? Because I would like to share something else with you that will give you a little more detail. Is that okay?
Hey, Stephanie, that's totally fine. If you don't mind emailing it to me.
Okay.
And Stephanie Howard Gallo, we can post it on the website as an addendum.
Okay.
We like to have any materials that are going to be presented at a board meeting, we like to have posted in advance so that the public can respond to them. But whatever you want to show us now, if you can also email it to me, that'd be fantastic.
Oh, okay. So I can show it and email it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Absolutely.
It's ideal to have the information available to the public prior to the meeting. So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I am going to, because I want you to see what we have done. And so I don't know if I shared this with, I'm not sure if I sent it to you all, but I want to show you. So I'm going to pull this up. This is our book that we put out this past year to show some of the things we've done. And if I can, I don't know if I can blow this up, but if you can see, hold on, here we go. If you can see these numbers. So this was our service for last year. And this was, I can't even blow it up. I'm so sorry. So Lynn, I will send this to you, okay? And this includes children that were served. This includes the rate of academic growth, the women and teens who successfully completed programs, numbers of families served in any capacity, so, and what I was really excited about it is the number of meals we served in the last fiscal year. This was, and so when we get ready to do a book like this for this fiscal year that we are working through now, I am extremely excited and definitely am looking forward to see the numbers have increased. Another thing is, I want to also mention, because when I talk about, so I will send this whole book to you, Lynn. I'll send the whole book, okay? I want to also mention that not only that, but we do surveys with families regularly, because we want to know not just that we're providing service, but that this is service that is necessary, right? Because how many arbitrary programs are happening everywhere and they're not really a benefit. And so I don't want to just do service as usual. I want to make sure that the families feel like what we do is something they absolutely need and something that's going to help them to grow and develop. Okay. So I have teen moms who have shared with us through survey that they don't know how they would have managed with their kids without having our program. And just some of the things they've learned. I've had parents that will tell us that they were on in their surveys, they tell us, I was breaking down. I didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to support my kids. And they have learned skills. Not only that, I'm sorry, I'm kind of scatterbrained, Matt, if you haven't noticed. So another thing is, we provide them with career development. So people that couldn't do a resume can now write a resume. And we've had so many times they've come in, we have a list of people who have gained employment since being with us, a list of people who feel more mentally stable and have come back and say, wow, where I used to would have blown up, I was able to deal with this. And they'll use some of the words we use. Like, I wasn't in my emotional mind today. I used my wise mind. And it makes me so happy to see our teens and our young adults and our children and our parents developing the tools, doing things in their homes that's increasing family relationships. So, okay, I'll stop.
I was going to ask, are you using any of your graduates as potential mentors to the incoming people? So just cycling people through and
you better believe it, Joe. You better believe it. And so, and not just high school graduates, but I'm talking about graduates from one level to another. Okay. So the girls who completed our psychotherapy program, those are girls that come back and support our younger girls. And so when we do book club, they sit in on book club and they're like, ooh, and they get to tell them, I remember when I was going through this and how this helped me. And this makes the kids so happy, the younger girls. So absolutely. And not only that, the older girls are also required to be tutors for the younger girls. So they come back in during the 3:30 to 4:30 hour every day, and they help them with reading. They're helping first graders and second graders learn to read. Go check out my webpage. And also take a look at our Facebook page, because we post a lot on our Facebook page that shows what's going on in-house.
Okay. Questions?
So I had a question. This is always like my famous question. I always ask about volunteers and things like that. So we have heard from other agencies that they're lacking, especially like African American volunteers. Is that something you too are lacking? Do you is a middle class white woman just as good, even though maybe I can't relate to some of these young ladies' issues? Again, I never know how to say it where it doesn't sound bad, but I mean,
No, I
think there's
understand.
a lot of people who want to help, but it's hard to look at someone who doesn't understand maybe what they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So it's just a little, what kind of volunteers you're needing, because maybe we know someone who we could send your way.
Thank you, Jan, and that is Jane, I believe, and that's a good question. Thank you so much. So I will tell you this, we have volunteers who are, we have Black, we have white, we have Asian, we have Hispanic volunteers. We have volunteers from several different ethnic backgrounds and ethnic groups, okay? No matter who you are, when you come into the well, you are required, in order to volunteer here, you have to take trauma-informed care training, which is taught by me. You also, every group that I've had come through, I've had Chandra come and do cultural competency training with them. I have also, I work with them on understanding our children. We also do SAGA training, which is teaching about tutoring and teaching about implicit bias. And so my goal is, once we get done, working with you and training you, that anyone who cares about children and wants to see growth happening in kids can come in and tutor our kids. And we want to make sure that you have the cultural sensitivity you need and that you are able to provide that help no matter what race you are. Now, yes, we definitely want kids to see people who look like us, because they need to. They need to see people who look like them working with them, especially in a society where most of the people who provide services don't look like them. So absolutely, we want that to happen, and we make sure that happens. But if someone is able to provide support and has a love for children and is able to go through those trainings, and you not doing nothing that's gonna make me snap out on you about my kids, then we all good.
So how many staff do you have?
I have 14, I believe, 13, 14 right now, and we are looking to increase our staff. So, but I believe that's what we have right now.
Okay. How do you take care of yourself?
Oh, I knew it was coming, Joe.
Oh, yeah, but I always do that. I mean, Lynn knows that too.
So, can I say I'm getting better?
In one of the groups I used to run, can't use that to cop out word.
Oh man.
I'm messing with you now.
No, I am. It is definitely at my forefront. I'm really working on trying not to let, convince myself that it's my passion that keeps me from taking care of myself, because that's untrue and that's ridiculous, because my passion should force me to take care of myself so that I can continue to be passionate and serve others. So that is something I really am, Joe, when I say I have been resetting things, redoing. And one thing that Leon, Chandra, several other people told me a long time ago is that I had to really think about serving and how much service I do and being an executive director, right? Because I want to do the service, and at the same time, as an executive director, I have to remember there's no way I can serve for full time and do the business side of this full time, because it's only one of me, so I am certainly, I mean, I have been relinquishing some things and delegating some tasks that I've been happy to give away. And sometimes it's hard because I want to go be in groups with the babies and I'll show my face sometimes, but I am certainly separating from some of the service and looking for people who have that passion and can do the work as well. Because it's actually, you know, crazy to think that I have to do it all. I don't have to do it all. So I'm working on it.
Good, good. I mean, I think your passion could be seen as infectious, so that's a good thing.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
I really do love what I do, y'all. It's everything to me, and I want to be doing this for a very long time. So,
And that's the way to keep it, by finding balance.
yes, absolutely.
Any other comments or questions? If not, thank you, Stephanie. Keep
No
doing it.
problem.
Keep doing
Thank
it.
you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Welcome. Thanks.
So earlier today, when I was talking to Lynn, I called our study session a learning session. And I
Mhm.
feel like I learned a great deal about these two programs tonight. And I appreciate both of our presenters and all you're doing for our community.
Yes, that I would say, yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. You guys are making a difference. Stephanie and Nelson, you guys good. Any other comments before we move to the next item? Okay, thank you. Board announcements. If there are no board announcements, we can move to adjourn. We need to move to adjourn.
See you here next week.
Yeah. So who's going to make a motion to adjourn? Wayne?
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, sounds good. Okay,
I'll second.
you guys have a good 166 and a half hours before I see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes.
See you.